My guest tonight in Los Angeles, adventurer, author, and star of the Discovery Channel's Man vs. Wild, Bear Grylls is here. Welcome to The Loop, Bear.
Hi there, how you doing?
So for our viewers who aren't exactly familiar with you yet, why don't you tell us what you do, Bear?
I host a Discovery Channel show called Man vs. Wild that basically means I get dropped into all these hellholes around the world and have to show how to get my sorry backside out of trouble.
Bear, what's going on in the new season? What exactly are the viewers in store for?
The new season has probably gone to some of the toughest places we've ever filmed. You know, a lot of the people wrote in and said they'd like to see a Man vs. Wild from Siberia in the winter time, so we did that. We did it was, minus 35 degrees every day in Siberia during December. That was definitely one of the toughest ones I've ever done. We did 2 from Africa, Namibia and Zambia, very hot deserts, and then a jungles and swamps one in Indonesia, and a desert island one off Sumatra.
And how does this compare to the missions that you've gone on in the past?
I think all of these recent shows have definitely stretched me more than ever before, but, you know, we finished filming a couple of weeks ago. The cuts and grazes and bumps and bruises and snake bites and scorpion stings are healing, and kind of you forget all the cold and discomfort. But it's been a real privilege, this last one, and shows, they're shows that I'm really proud of. And
what's on the menu for this season? Any sort of exotic cuisine?
Cuisine would be a loose terminology.
A little bit.
Everything from, raw frozen yak eyeballs to live snakes to, it's back to back, all of these things. You know, if I think of last week, I was in the desert skinning a big rattlesnake and then peeing inside the skin and tying a knot in that and having that around my neck in the desert salt pans where it's, super hot, and then drinking the pee out of the snake skin with all the snake innards and, you name it. It's been, it's been quite a full-on season, this one.
Now, Bear, I have to ask, you've been criticized in the past. There's been some claims that certain scenes from your show that they're reshot or they're embellished. So what would you say? Is Man vs. Wild, is it more how-to or is it more documentary?
Yeah, I mean, it is certainly how-to. The whole premise of the show has always been, if you get yourself in a nightmare situation with nothing, stranded, everything's gone wrong, and you're up against it, this could keep you alive. So it is very much an extreme, survival show. But, everything you see me do is everything that I do. Those snakes and alligators and cliff faces and big surfs and big rivers, all very real, But that's, it's the premise of the show, and it's why... it's why I feel quite stretched, I think, a lot of the time. I think especially when the locations become very extreme, it definitely makes, my job and the crew's job, much, much harder.
So you wouldn't say that the stunts are embellished for entertainment purposes?
Well, I hope the shows are entertaining, but first and foremost, they're a survival show to show, if you get yourself in this situation, hopefully you won't, but if you do, this could save your life.
All right, so you've wrapped shooting the current season, but you'll be spending the rest of the year shooting the future episodes. Where else are you headed, Bear?
I've got a mad sort of Man vs. Wild filming schedule for the rest of this year. We are going down to Antarctica for an expedition I'm leading at the end of the year, which is trying to highlight all the alternative energy and biofuels and all that stuff. So, which is something that's very close to my heart. I think, especially the places we've filmed Man vs. Wild, you really see the effects of climate change and global warming firsthand. And so we're heading down to Antarctica to do an expedition down there, try and raise awareness for the power of alternative energy and what we can actually do with it.
Bear Grylls, thank you so much for joining us and keeping us in the loop.